So my thing is small business. Like, I love small businesses. It's just more personal. You can buy something off of Amazon for $10 and it comes and it is what it is. I feel like handmade's so personal. Somebody put their thought and effort into it. So my mom's a sewer. My mom would make our Halloween costumes or sew a bunch of random stuff. And so my mom always said, she was like, I want one of my kids to take on sewing. It's different. It gets your mind off of TV, social media. You're just getting your mind onto creating something. I don't know, it's just something that's made with love. And the fact that it's sewn, not a lot of younger people take it on. So to me, it was kind of like a niche that I have that I wanted to share. Ever since I was little, my goal was always go to school, get a really good corporate job. And I feel like I was young when I got into it, and I did things pretty quickly. I want to continue my job, but I do want to expand, but nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to be an Amazon. I can't remember, but there was a lot of names that I was just going off of, and eventually I found this name and I was like, I like it, this sticks. And my mom was helping me too, and my mom was like, I love that name. Till this day, she's like, I'm so happy one of my kids loves to sew.
And then we're going to do a little high five, just so a sync point for the audio. Yeah, okay. You can do that too. All right, we're officially recording stuff.
Cool.
Let's get out started. Got all these things I have on my wrist.
Cute bracelets.
And I'm looking so hipster, yeah? Oh my God.
All those charm bracelets.
Do you remember the first time we met, Steph?
I don't. I was actually thinking about that today.
You don't remember? You're breaking my heart.
No, the first time I recall meeting you is when we ate chicken piccata.
Yeah, that is.
Is it the first time?
Oh, okay.
Place, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Was that the first time?
Yeah, that we were celebrating the release of Open Tab.
Yes.
That me, Christian, Sam, and Rena did. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was, I'd heard about you for a while. Sam was showing us pictures, and I thought you were Filipino.
Everyone does.
I know, but when I saw you in person, you don't look Filipino at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I still get it in person.
Yeah, definitely. But in the pictures, what's funny is then I thought you were Filipino, and then when I met you, then after I met you, I would see pictures again.
Yeah.
I never thought you were Filipino again.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's
not
the
that
first.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not that it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just, what it was.
Yeah.
I'm going to take all these things off of my wrist.
Okay.
But feel free to keep on talking.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't you tell me about Sewn con Amor? That means...
Sewn with love. Yes.
Wasn't it the name gonna be something else? It was gonna be Sav, right?
I had a lot of names, to be honest.
Okay,
so
let's hear all those names.
Backstory.
Yeah.
When I created this brand, I was back and forth. I wanted it to be like something incorporating my name, something that was like crafting in general, because I do a lot more than sewing too.
Okay.
But then I figured I should have a niche, and that niche was sewing, because there's not too many people that do it.
You're totally selling yourself to the camera right now.
What do you mean?
We can just talk to each other. You don't have to.
No, I'm telling you my story.
No, you're going. So what she's doing, folks, is she's telling me her story, but she's looking to the lens.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, we'll just talk to each other.
Okay, where was I?
So you had a lot of brands. You wanted to include your name at first.
Yeah.
But you were gonna do more than crafting at one point?
No, I wanted to do more than sewing. So I wanted to do more of like a crafty page that just had like a bunch of stuff. But then I had to find a niche. So I was like, let's just do sewing. And then eventually, if I want to create more pages, depending on what I really get into, I'll do it at that point.
Okay.
So I created this page, or I started writing down names of just like, what I did is I had a few Instagrams that I used to follow that were like crafty pages, and I wrote down their names and then kind of got ideas, just bounced back, did a few thesaurus searches, and...
Oh, you went deep. You went into thesaurus.
Yeah.
You're really putting a lot of thought into it.
I honestly wish I still had that paper because it was a mess.
Oh, you didn't keep it?
No, I didn't. I should have. Maybe I have it somewhere, to be honest.
Did you wrote it in a notebook?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else was in that notebook, or did you rip it out?
No, it was just a notebook where I would like scribble or like write down notes, things like that.
Your deep dark feelings.
No, not a journal.
Do you have a journal?
No, I don't. I actually wanted to get into it this year though, because I just recently came across a 5-minute journal. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I used to do that.
Oh, really? How did it go?
Because there's just like a couple different ways you can do the 5-minute journal. You can do it where you just scribble your thoughts, whatever they are, for 5 minutes. And then there's a template too, like, oh, you know what, the day would be great if I did these 3 things, and I'm grateful for these 3 things. So I did the template, and it got repetitive quick. So I was like, oh, fuck that. I'm tired of it. And I've never kept up a journal longer than maybe 2 months.
Okay. That's me with calendars. I get into them in the beginning of the year because I want to write down everything, and then I'm like, February, I'll just do what I have to.
You know what's funny? You totally seem like a journal kind of person. I really would have thought you'd have a journal.
No, not me. Maybe this year, who knows?
Yeah. Is that? I mean, you made a vision board. Is that your first vision board?
I did.
Ever?
It was, and I really liked that actually.
Okay, see, so that's why I thought you were a journal person, because definitely anyone who makes a vision board
would have a journal.
Yeah, we're definitely like into journals.
Not me. I'm actually more of a notes person. So in my phone, I have like a ton of notes. So that's pretty much how I keep
on your phone.
Pretty much, for the most part. I do have like my calendar that I have, like the yearly calendar, and I do keep track of things there, but it's mostly my phone.
Do you do speech to text, or you actually type it out?
I'm not a speech to text person.
Why? So you seem so against it.
I can't do it. I don't know why.
You feel everything like spying on you. What is it?
I don't know. I can't get it down. I've tried multiple times and I can't.
You can't get it down.
Maybe I talk too fast.
Talk to it. It translates it.
I don't know. Maybe I talk too fast. Maybe I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. My sister is on it all the time, and she's like text talking all the time. I just can't. Because
I actually try to I was the same way. Not that I couldn't get it down, but I was just so used to typing, and I just felt like there's this amazing feature on this phone that I'm just not even using at all. So I'm not getting 100% out of this phone. So I just felt a little silly.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try it again, but
you use an iPhone, right? They're usually really good about the privacy, especially with you got the new iPhone.
Very true.
You got the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
The big one.
So why not just an iPhone 12?
I like big screens. I'm not the person that, if I'm sitting on the couch and I want to research something, I won't grab my laptop. I feel like it's too bulky, too much. I just like scrolling through my phone. So it's just convenient for me.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how addicted are you to your phone?
In what sense? There's categories here.
You already come out with the justifications. That means you're addicted. That means you're addicted.
There's categories.
Okay, what are the categories? You tell
Social media, texting, calling. There's people that are nonstop on their phones.
Who calls the phones? No one uses phones for calling.
I do.
Calling is just like an app that you have on your phone. You don't actually
convert it to words.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with social media first then, on a scale of 1 to 10.
A 10.
Wow, that bad.
Lately, especially with my new phone, yes, I have to say.
What's your poison of choice?
TikTok.
Oh.
I'm addicted.
Were you addicted before TikTok?
So I just recently added TikTok. And so that's kind of why I'm addicted. No, this is probably within the last maybe month or so.
That recent? Are you being honest?
No, I'm serious. Yeah. I think it was... Actually, it might go back to December. Christmas time around then. Because I started getting into hot cocoa bombs.
Hey, and I love your hot cocoa bombs. That's how I learned how to make them. I love these hot cocoa bombs are literally... What is it? You have chocolate on the outside. And cocoa powder.
Marshmallows.
They're nothing dirty. When I say I love her hot cocoa bombs, because it's not a metaphor or anything like that.
It's real cocoa.
It's real cocoa. No, my wife Chris, she loved the white chocolate. Actually, she loved all of them.
The cookies and cream. That one was really good. For Christmas,
you gave us 4, right? And she knew that I love white chocolate. And she just ate all of them and left 25% of the white chocolate one. It's the only one that I like of the 4.
She just couldn't.
Oh, she just loves it so much.
That's funny.
Thank you for that. I know I never said thank you. There you go, 2 months later.
Yeah, thanks to TikTok, actually.
So you got that from TikTok. How did that happen?
I think it's social media. There was a bunch of people selling them, and I wanted to try and make them, so I ordered everything.
Oh, so never even occurred to you to try to buy them?
Oh, no.
You immediately went to, how can I make it?
Uh-huh.
Is that just the kind of person you are?
Honestly, it is. I love crafty things. I love, doing things myself, so I just wanted to recreate it. And there was a few flavors that I wanted that were, in the back of my mind that I wanted to try versus giving it to someone and be like, hey, can you make me this flavor? Or
Oh, so we got your thoughts flowing as soon as you saw it. But how hot cocoa bombs can a person consume on TikTok that you would get
Well,
addicted?
I think a lot of people sold them, so that's what they were doing. They were like recording themselves making them and then selling them.
So
but I
you were
wanted
watching them making it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my ideas started flowing, and I was like, I want to make these for my family and friends.
So how does that go into your TikTok addiction? And like, what else? That can't just be all hot cocoa bombs.
No, then crafting comes into play. So I've been not learning, but watching. Same thing, right? A lot of, I think it's called resin, where they make like a bunch of different things. You can make like dog tags on it, like the little dog's collar. You can do like self-defense items, things like that. A bunch of stuff. I get lost
items. How did that come up? Is that something you think about too?
No, I think it's just because it was more on like the crafting side. My feed became something that I was interested in. So it was like a bunch of crafting, food, things like that.
What that makes me think of, since you mentioned self-defense, have you ever been in a position where you actually felt threatened?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, wait, I think you told me a story before. You worked at a tanning salon, right? And there was
creeps all the time.
And then you told me about one specific creepy old dude.
Yeah.
Can you tell the story again?
Yeah. So I used to work at a tanning salon. This was a while back.
You were the manager, right?
Yeah, I was the manager.
You were a young manager.
Yeah, it was my college career. That's actually where I worked. Because it worked out. I would go to school during the day I'd go to work during the day and then school at nights.
How the hell did you become a manager so young?
I mean, it's a tanning salon. It wasn't like...
I don't know, it's still a manager,
yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I worked hard and they liked me and it just worked. I was super responsible at a young age too. Okay. So I think that's really it.
Back to your perv story.
Back to the creep. When I wish I had self-defense. This guy was so creepy. This was one specific person. So... how did it start? He used to tan there all the time. So he'd always go to the same room.
How old was he?
He was definitely, I would say, like late 40s, 50s, maybe.
Okay.
And so he'd always go to the same room, and I knew him by name because he was the usual.
What was his name? Let's just name him.
I don't even remember, to be honest. It's been a long time. Nice? No, I really can't remember. Sometimes I wish I remembered because I'd like to stalk them, but
see what he's up to on Facebook. Yeah. How leathery is his skin now? Right?
But so he'd do the same thing all the time, and I got to know him. We'd have like small talk, and I think I want to say people because it was multiple people just got the wrong idea. It's like a young girl working at a salon, knowing your name, like casually talking to you all the time.
You're talking about coworkers got the wrong idea?
No, like customers, like guys in general. I feel like sometimes they'd get the wrong idea.
Well, how would you know they got the wrong idea? Just
because of the way that they decided to like carry conversations on or like ask me to hang out outside of hours or, you know.
Oh, so they thought, this guy's like,
over friendly. Yeah.
I could probably, she's down.
Maybe.
I'll probably give it a try too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But how do you know that they were getting the wrong idea or they was just genuinely interested in you and it had nothing to do with this creep?
I think it's because people would be like, do you want to go to this bar after? Or where do you like to hang out? Things like that.
But how do you know like they're doing it because of that creep?
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I meant because we kind of got on the conversation of like getting to know each other, first name, last name basis.
Oh, these guys thought they could get to know you too.
They would think I was like super friendly or like open and I was just doing my job type of thing.
I bet you there's a ton of guys out there who mistake an attractive woman just doing their job, being friendly for them being, this girl obviously wants me. Yeah. She said hi back. I mean, come on.
She knows my name. She wants me.
She knows my name. She asked me how am I doing today?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I think. I think people just like got the wrong impression sometimes.
Okay.
And I mean, it makes sense. I get it. Like we were really friendly, like a little bit, not over friendly, but we just want to make people feel comfortable, and maybe some people got too comfortable.
Yeah, it's just good customer service. Yeah. You remember the person, you remember something about them, you mention it. Yeah. Hey, how was your dog Scruffy or something, right?
Exactly. So this guy specifically, I check him in, and this day that it was really weird, where like things just got awkward and I did not like the situation, is checked him in and he went to his room, and at the time, this is where I kind of knew he was creepy already. I would kind of hide from him. Like I'd leave somebody else at the front and I'd go clean a room or something or do something. And so this specific day, I was cleaning a room, trying to hide from him, like getting away from him when he was walking out. And he came in the room and he was like, "Hey, are you on your lunch?" And I was like, "No, I'm cleaning." He was like, "Oh, when are you going to take your lunch?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not taking a lunch today," like trying to cut the conversation. And he was like, "Oh, well, then can I take you to dinner afterwards? What time are you off?" Just being like too much.
How close was he to you when he was asking this?
I mean, the room was small. It was probably like, I would say from here to where you're at. So it's a small room and it's awkward.
Are you serious? So we're talking like 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah. We were super close, yeah.
He's
the door was
probably
open.
in a Speedo since he's been tanning, right?
No, he was fully dressed at the time.
So he got dressed.
This is afterwards. Okay. Yeah, this is when he was walking out.
Right.
So he was asking me all these questions, and then he was like, "How about we grab dinner after you're off?" And I was like, "Oh, no, thank you." And then he asked me for my number, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." I was like, "I have a boyfriend."
Did you have a boyfriend at the time?
I did. And he was like, "So you can't go to dinner with me?" Just being creepy.
That's interesting.
And he was persistent. Like, he just didn't care.
See, that's interesting, where, when you hear the boyfriend, he just kept on going.
Yeah. It was weird. There was many instances, though, and after that, he kept continuing to talk to me. And I would just kind of blow him off. And at that point, I stopped being friendly because he kind of took it too far, where he just made me feel uncomfortable.
It made you feel uncomfortable, but would you classify it as creepy? Just because he was persistent and he obviously couldn't read the signs and he wasn't respectful of the fact that you had a relationship.
I would say that's creepy after somebody says no thank you. I feel like that is creepy, especially like the way we were standing and like being in a closed, confined area.
Wow, like how was he standing if you had to describe it?
I mean, he was standing normal, but it's just more of a confined area where he went in versus like keeping his distance and staying out.
You're talking about that particular instance.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a guy, you almost dream of a girl doing that to you.
But it's different when you're a girl and the guy is like a lot older than you.
I don't know. Like, a woman,
and you're at your job. That's the other thing.
I mean, that's like the guy's fantasy, honestly. Like, a woman's a lot older, especially if I'm 20, 21.
Yeah.
And a woman, in her 40s, is like, is that attracted to me? And it is like...
So you would like it?
Yeah. I honestly, when I was young, I had a thing for older women. It's just, the attraction was, and it's just basically every guy. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh wow, she's so experienced. I bet she knows exactly what she wants.
So you're looking for the cougars.
Yeah, she knows exactly what she wants, and she's not afraid to tell you what it is. She's gonna go right after it, right? And there's a little bit of that conquest too, like, oh, look at me, man, I'm a stud. Now I can get this older woman who gets men and look at. But I just didn't know how to, like, where would I find them? I was like an 18, 19, 20-year-old. Where the hell do I meet these women? And obviously now I'm 40. I'm not really into older women anymore. It's like, they're really old at this point. Yeah, I don't know if something like that happened to me. You know what? I take that back. I can relate. Because when I lived in the Philippines, I spent 7 years of my 20s living in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. I was a gay magnet like you wouldn't believe. Oh, I would get approached everywhere.
So those were your creeps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. You know how creepy it got for me? The creepiest one was at the gym. Mm-hmm. I was in the steam room. And in the steam room, you're not wearing any underwear. You just put a towel underneath you and you put a towel underneath your over your crotch, right? So I go in there and there's another guy just sitting there, and it's like an L-shaped bench. So he's on one side of the L, I'm on the other leg of the L, and I'm just sitting there relaxing. And he tries to make a little like small talk. Hey, how's it going? What's up? And I'm just being nice. Hey, how's it going? What's up? And maybe that goes on for like 1 minute or 2 minutes.
So you're being too friendly.
No, I'm not like enthusiastic.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh, hey, I'm from here. Oh yeah, hey, my name is Mike. No, I'm just like literally one-word responses, right? And so I just close my eyes to relax, and I kind of lean back, and then I feel a squeeze on my inner thigh.
Stop.
Yeah. And he asked me, like, hey, where do you live? Where are you from? And I was in such shock.
Did you jump or like move?
No, like
you stood there with his hand on your leg.
It wasn't like an immediate like jab. It wasn't like yeah like that. It was literally like squeeze. And I was in such shock. I couldn't believe it was happening. Right? I was like, what? And then he was like asking me where I lived. I wasn't really registering what was happening, and my only response was, "You don't even know me. You want to know where I live? Not get your hand off my inner thigh or anything like that." It was just, I was in complete. So
that's funny.
See, that's creepy.
That's creepy. Yeah,
that's creepy. Right?
That's super creepy. No, I didn't have anything like that, like physical at all. But it was just more of like creepy guys.
Yeah. So that's why I like. You know what? I can understand.
Yeah.
What that's like. And one time I was at the dentist. And, so the dentist has me laid back and he's working on my teeth. And he starts going in about how, like, nice my body is.
Oh, my God.
And, at that time, I was in amazing shape. This is before Chris. So this is before I got into a long-term relationship. So, yeah, I was all about working out. And, yeah, so that's pretty creepy, too.
That's creepy.
And another time, I like tell you, I'm filled with these stories.
Yeah.
I was in a gay magnet. One time I was in the restroom and the guy starts asking for my number because we're peeing next to each other in the stall. And I zip up, I walk out, I don't even wash my hands. Yeah. Which is a lot because I'm very big
so
about washing my hands. So you didn't say anything?
Just...
No, yeah. And he goes, wait, I just want to be your friend. It's like, you do not just want to be my friend. If you're asking for my number while we're peeing next to each other in a public restroom, you want to be more than friends. God.
That's funny. Those are definitely creepy.
Yeah, so you've never experienced anything of that level.
Yeah, no, nothing like physical or anything like that.
Is that something that worries you though, when you're out by yourself as a woman?
Oh yeah, I actually carry a flashlight taser with me all the time. Oh yeah. There's creeps out there. My little sister actually works at the mall and she scares me the most. I bought her one. Just because there's weirdos. Like, you never know who you're going to encounter. She gets off super late at night. Like, sometimes she'll get off at like 2 a.m. or whatever. Walking out, who knows?
Working at the mall?
Yeah.
You get up at 2 a.m?
They do like inventory or things like that where they have to stay later after hours.
Okay.
So she'll get off pretty late sometimes and it's just creepy. Especially her. For me, it's more of like, if I go to Target late at night, you never know who you're gonna encounter. So having that makes
at Target, shops at Target.
Having that makes
those
me
low, amazing prices.
Hey, human trafficking. 5% off right now. you don't want those vans to pass you.
No. Okay, so you carry a flashlight that's a taser.
Yeah, just to make myself feel comfortable. Like, you never know.
Do you think you can actually use it?
I think if I was in the moment, I would.
Have you tested it on someone?
Not on fun? Someone, but I have like played around with it. Just tased. Yeah. I mean, you have to know what you're holding. Like, I don't want to just bust it out one day and not know what I'm doing.
Where did you buy it?
I bought it on Amazon.
And what does it say? On Amazon, like it can knock a person out. What is it?
It has like I don't know what it's called. It's like volts or like wattage. It does have that on there.
Do you know how much it is?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. It's pretty intense though. The sound is like scary enough to probably scare somebody away.
So when are you the most scared? When you're getting out of your car, going to Target, or leaving Target?
It's probably leaving Target, because when you're leaving, you're like getting in your car by yourself. You never know who's like watching you, or if the car next to you decides to like open their door and get out, So
when you're walking to your car, are you looking at the parked cars to see if there's people that look sketchy?
I do check all my surroundings. So like if I'm walking out, I'll look around everywhere, or I'll try and walk out with somebody, to be honest. Not that I know them, but just walking out with somebody makes you feel more comfortable.
Well, how does that work if you don't know them?
Like, just no, like in a distance. You're like not walking super close to them. Hey, you never know.
So would you wait at the exit until someone else leaves?
No, I just like try and rush. Like if somebody's, let's say, 10 feet in front of me, I'll just walk a little bit faster to be closer to them.
And that makes you feel safe.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, if I was in the position, if somebody was, let's say, getting attacked or something, I feel like I would do something, whether it's call the cops or get involved somehow, I would, to try and save somebody.
It's getting cold, isn't it?
No.
No? I'm actually getting cold. Let me put my sweater on real quick. I'm the one who told you that.
I know. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a sweater too, so I'm not.
I mean, it was getting stuffy with the suit.
Yeah, true.
No, but you were talking about your mindset of leaving Target.
Yeah. Target, or I mean in general, if you're anywhere alone, it's scary being a girl.
What about during the daytime?
No, during the day I feel fine.
Is this every girl?
I think so.
That's
if you're by yourself. If I'm with somebody, I feel fine.
Have you ever taken BART?
Oh, yeah. I actually used to work in Oakland. So I'd take BART from Sunnyvale, or not Sunnyvale, what was Fremont to Oakland during the day. It was during working hours, but sometimes it'd be like early in the morning, or sometimes like at 5 or between 5 and 6. And there was some creeps. Just like creepy people, not creeps to say, but creepy people or like kids that you kind of get scared of because you never know what's going to happen.
About teenagers?
Yeah.
Oh, man, teenagers are the worst.
So one time I had this incident and we were coming back from Oakland and everybody who was on the train was like business people. They all had like their suits or like they were carrying something. And this group of kids got on, and I'll never forget because this is the time that really scared me. There wasn't like an end to the story or anything like exciting, but it scared me. So we're all
keep going after you said that. There's not an ending or there's nothing exciting, but here, keep going.
These kids, like, you know how the bus goes and then it stops?
Okay.
So the bus stopped, but like 5 seconds before it stopped, they had said something. They were like, go. And they rushed off the bus. And once they said that, everybody kind of like got scared and looked around because you never know what's going to happen, right?
They left a bomb or something.
Yeah. And so once they did that, everybody was like looking around and like in a panic. Luckily, nothing happened, but it's just one of those things.
So you didn't get off. You stayed on.
No, I stood on there because that wasn't my stop. And if somebody says go, I'm not going to go. I'm not in their party.
Were panicking too.
Oh, everybody was panicking. Yeah.
That's interesting. You were panicking, but it wasn't enough. Oh, this isn't my stop.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get off.
No, none of us got off because it was like a group, I would say, of 5 or 6 kids that just ran and they booked it.
I guess that happened so quick. You didn't even realize what's going on.
And I wouldn't run to follow them since they were the ones that said something and they left. I mean, I didn't even think of a bomb, to be honest.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's actually quite a clever prank.
It really is. It was scary.
Right?
Like, at first, I thought maybe they stole something from someone and just ran or something. I didn't think of a bomb, but now that I think of it, that could have been something.
Did you ever hear that story about Bart? I think it was last year. I don't know if it happened in somewhere between Oakland and Hayward, where I think there was like 30 teenagers or something came onto like one car and just robbed everyone. Like, got their wallets and everything.
That's scary. No.
But if you think about it, like
30 kids?
Yeah, 30 teenagers. I mean, I don't know if they had knives or anything, but if they had knives, I can understand it. But if they didn't have knives, those are 30 teenagers. How many adults are on that train?
Right?
Like, wouldn't you think
somebody would push one of them or like do something?
No, come on, we're all adults. Let's just beat the shit out of these teenagers.
Right?
So I was like,
but sometimes it's also being uncomfortable too. Like if you're alone on BART, if all the adults were alone and by themselves, like who do they know? Who do they really trust? You know?
I don't know. I guess for me, I have fantasies of with my martial arts
beating kids
background.
up.
I just I was like, I'll save the day, lead the charge. Well, you know what? I did have a problem with one neighbor who would just blast music at 2 a.m., blast the TV, 2 a.m. And I confronted him, I think 3 different times. Actually, no, to be fair, it's only once. I tried to confront him 3 different times, but he never came to the door. The only time I confronted him was I just yelled at him through the window because he wouldn't come to the door.
What did you say?
I just told him, at least have the courtesy to close your windows, right? And I just heard, okay. But I called the police on him because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, there is a noise curfew, right? And there's a number to call, and it ends up being the police. And I reported him 3 times. And then the last time I called the police, they came to my house thinking I was a problem. They're banging on my door.
You're calling too many times.
Yeah, and then I told them what was going on. And they said, like, yeah, you need to stop going over there, man. That's not a good idea. Because who knows? This guy might have a gun. But I just couldn't help it because to me, it's like, I have to at least try to do something about it. If I don't try to do something about it, then this asshole is just going to keep on doing it.
Yeah.
But you know what? He stopped. Right? So even though I never had that one face-to-face confrontation, but just the repeated attempts to do something, eventually he did stop.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Okay, let's talk about Sewn Amor. I mean, so we never did finish it. How did you actually land on the name Sewn Amor?
I can't remember.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. Thanks. Okay, let's move on.
No, I can't remember how I branched into it, but there was a lot of names that I was just going off of, and eventually I found this name, and I was like, I like it. This sticks. And my mom was helping me too, and my mom was like, I love that name, and it clicked.
What do you love about it?
I love that so my thing is small business. I love small businesses. I'm sure you know. And I don't know, it's just something that's made with love. So it's handmade. That's my biggest thing. I love handmade stuff. I love making handmade stuff too. And the fact that it's sewn, not a lot of people sew. I feel like that's more of a granny crafty skill that a lot of people have. Not a lot of younger people take it on. They don't think it's fun, or they just don't really do it. A lot of people do different stuff. So to me, it was kind of a niche that I have that I wanted to share.
Sewing.
Yeah.
What is it about sewing? It obviously doesn't appeal to me, but the way I ask, sewing?
It's different. It gets your mind off of TV, social media. You're not reading a book. You're not learning about somebody's life, or, you're not engaging in something like that. You're just getting your mind onto creating something.
So it's very much therapeutic and an escape for you.
Yeah, I would say.
So that's why when I was filming you earlier doing it, you weren't smiling or anything. You just...
I get in the zone. I'm like...
But that's interesting because it was the same way with the person that I was filming yesterday, Milo, when she was baking. That's her thing. That's her therapy. That's her zone. And I had to tell her the same thing. I said, hey, this is going to sound really funny, but I'm going to need you to smile. And you're oh, I'm baking. I'm so happy. Because it just looks better that way. That's how the heart comes. Okay, but yeah. So, did you grow up sewing?
No,
or?
I actually hated it. So my mom's a sewer. My mom, ever since we were little, my mom would make our Halloween costumes or sew a bunch of random stuff. And so my mom always said, she was like, I want one of my kids to take on sewing. And none of us liked it. We were younger. My mom would be like, there was this thing that my mom would have us do during summer vacations. She would always do crafty stuff. And I remember we would get jeans and make them into purses, just by cutting the legs off and sewing the bottom. And my mom would try and get us into that, and we just weren't having it. We would leave the sewing part to her. She would get us on the machine. We just weren't having it. But eventually, what I originally started with was makeup bags. And I had this idea.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, Sam was telling me about makeup bags that were easy to clean. Is that correct?
So that was my idea, was putting a lining in makeup bags. And so when I thought of that idea, I was like, I want to do it. Mom, teaching me how to sew. So when she taught me, I got a little bit more into it. I mean, I wasn't obsessed with it until I created the idea of makeup bags that were lined up. Once I got hands-on and played with fabrics, that's when I really got into it.
How happy did that make your mom when you
Oh my gosh, till this day. She's like, I'm so happy one of my kids loves to sew.
You really took after your mom with the love of making things. What is it about handmade goods?
It's just more personal. You can buy something off of Amazon for $10 and it comes and it is what it is. I feel like handmade's so personal, and somebody put their thought and effort into it.
But the goods off of Amazon, someone put their thought and effort to that too.
Yeah, machine.
But someone put the thought into designing it, right?
No, that's true. But I feel like handmade's just so much more special. I would 100% appreciate a handmade gift versus something else.
Oh, so
I'm that person.
So let's play scenario here. Let's say it's Valentine's Day is coming up, so all the better. Sam gives you a gift, and it's just a drawing he made of you.
That's not handmade.
That's handmade.
That's not supporting small businesses.
That is so handmade. He made that with his own hands. He took his own time to really try his best to draw something. You wouldn't.
So there's actually a story behind that. One night I came home and he had bought me AirPods.
Okay.
Like just as a because gift. And he made me a handmade card. And I loved that handmade card. I still have it. So I do appreciate handmade.
So
I mean, I love the AirPods. But
yeah, what if you let's just replay that, no AirPods, just a handmade card?
oh, I would appreciate it so much.
Okay.
Because he even put like a photo of us and like printed it out. But just like the handwriting, that was special to me.
How long ago did that happen?
Not too long ago. Maybe like...
Good. All right, Sam. Proud of you. So that really touched you.
Yeah.
So if you got a Target, like a card from Target,
I would have thrown it away.
Really?
Yeah. I also keep cards. So like if
you
people
keep
give
cards?
I do, like the special ones.
Yeah.
If somebody gives me a special card, I'll always keep it. So I have like a drawer full of like Christmas cards or like birthday cards.
Yeah, I just recycle those things. It's like I read it. Okay,
and
yeah.
that's it.
What else am I
But if they're
supposed to do
handmade,
with
that's
it?
so special.
Although, I mean, I will say this, like there's not a lot, but each letter that Chris wrote me, yeah, I have them.
See? That's special.
And I think there was this one year where I told her I wanted an Xbox 360 for my birthday.
Did she draw it
She
on the
made
card?
she had a handmade card that had an Xbox 360.
That's cute.
An Xbox, so she said. So I think I have that. So yeah, I get it, but do you feel the difference in like everyday goods too? Like you said, you're buying something off of Amazon versus...
When it comes to food, I feel better. Like if I'm buying from a small business, I feel better versus buying from like, what is it, Maggiano's or like Cheesecake Factory. I do feel better when it comes to that sense. When it's like handmade goods, I don't really use anything like everyday necessity to say.
Soap.
No, I use like basic soap, like generic. I don't really know of any brands that have like handmade. A lot of my skincare is like small business.
Okay.
So I do have some skincare that's small business. And I love that. But I think it's also finding good small business products too. That's the other thing.
So, I mean, if I'm a potential customer, now why would I buy a mask from you versus buying on Amazon?
So my masks are custom made. And they're double-sided. So you're getting 2 for 1. But I think what really, not that it makes me different, but I put a lot of time and effort into mine, and I have a lot of like different fabrics. So not a lot of people do have that. So like for the holidays, I'll come out with like holiday prints. So I go shopping, look for holiday prints. I'll go online and get like different prints. For Halloween, that was a huge hit. I ended up ordering it and like villains, and that took off just because nobody really has it. So it's not about having something special, because I mean there's other people that do make handmade masks, but I think it's just what you're able to offer.
So what was the trajectory like? So you started Sewn con Amor, and then you started making masks. How did you get your first customer?
Coronavirus. It really took off.
I know, but I mean, you just put it on Instagram and people just started.
When it came to bags, yeah. So when I originally started, I created these makeup bags, and they were like plastic lined.
So you actually got as far as making them.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I even sold some.
Because I remember Sam was supposed to do the branding for it.
I ended up doing my own branding.
Yeah, and then I remember he was pulling me in to like do the branding video, and I was like, yeah, as soon as you guys get your brand together, just let me know. We'll come up with something, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
So I just assumed the brand itself never happened.
Yeah, no, I kind of just did it on my own. I was kind of taking my own time doing it, and I created those bags. I ended up selling the bags, and it was
Instagram.
It was more towards like family and friends.
Okay.
My biggest supporters. And it was like coworkers, things like that. So it was more of my network.
How would you sell? You just bring it to work?
Well, so I would always carry my own bag. So like my makeup bag, I would take to work, and then I would like tell people about what I was doing.
Bring it up in conversation as much as possible.
Not a salesperson.
Oh, you know what, guys? I need to bring out my makeup bag.
Did you guys know that I make bags?
Oh, look at that. Isn't it amazing? There's lining in this thing.
Look how easy you can clean this.
Yeah.
No, I would just talk to them about it. Like, what do you do in your free time? Or like, what are your hobbies?
So you would
Things
wait
like
for
that.
an opportunity for it to naturally come up?
No, it would be casual conversation. Or like one of my coworkers would tell another coworker, do you know she does this? Or like family, they would repost it on Instagram. And then somebody would hit me up and be like, oh, I want one. you know?
Okay, so how does it go from
small.
the bags to the mask then?
So the bags were something small. I really enjoyed making them, but it wasn't like a hit. I ended up doing shirts after that, and the shirts took off. The shirts were a hit.
Okay.
I did like East Side shirts, West Side shirts. I did like a Michelada Mami shirt.
And that one I remember.
Those took off,
that.
yeah.
But you don't make them anymore.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have a whole box full of them, actually.
Okay.
When I do pop-ups, I'll bring them out. And so I started making the shirts, and then coronavirus hit, and I started making masks. And it's a need. So they've honestly taken off. People repost them, and that's pretty much how I get followers, is repost, giveaways, things like that.
Where do you see this whole Sewn con Amor thing going?
That's a good question. So, like I said,
it is a good question. Thank you.
I love handmade. So I eventually want to expand and do other stuff. So I'm still researching that. I really like a bunch of like eco-friendly stuff right now. So I do want to get into like making eco-friendly like makeup wipes or things like that. But nothing too crazy. Like I'm not trying to be an Amazon of any sort, but just making it small, local. That's
this
really
what you want your life to be?
What? A small business?
Yeah.
No, I enjoy my job. I love my job. I really do. We always talk about that, actually. Sam always asks me, like, what's your goal? Like, what do you want to do?
I'm sure Sam wants you to just pursue it full time, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I think I'll find something else that I want to do full time. But as for this is more of like passion and something that's fun for me. But I do love my full-time job, where I don't want to leave that.
What do you love about it, Summer? Because are you technically HR, or are you more so in the hiring?
I'm more in
aspect,
staffing.
Right? Staffing, right?
I'm more in staffing. I just love it. It's
I won't say where.
Yeah.
But it's impressive. It's big.
It's always a challenge. Ever since I was little, like my goal was always go to school, like get a really good corporate job, like get up there. So
and you've done that.
And I have. And I feel like I was young when I got into it, and I did things pretty quickly. So it's an accomplishment for me. And just being there, I don't know, there's something that I love. Like, I love being in this big network. I love making an impact on people, and I really enjoy it.
How do you make an impact on people?
Because it's staffing. So I'm giving people jobs. I'm like the one that's going back and forth with onboarding. So if there's issues in regards to onboarding, like that delays somebody's paycheck. Like that's on me, you know?
Oh, yeah. So you have a huge impact on people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, you already achieved it. Are you satisfied at this point, though?
Never. So there's definitely steps that I want to take in my career at my position that I'm at right now. I do want to excel. I do want to go a little bit bigger, but I also do have a passion for like side business. So I do want to expand on that too.
So you want to have no life, it sounds like.
I want to have the best of both worlds. So I want to continue my job, but I do want to expand. I don't know on what yet.
Yeah, I mean, paint that picture for me. You said you want to excel. What does that look like?
In my position or like the side business?
It's up to you. You tell me. You close your eyes. You say the word excel. What comes to mind?
In my position, I do want to get up a little bit. So I want to jump some levels. That would be my end goal. But as for a side business, I love to open up something. Whether that's like opening up a small business and running it or having somebody else run it. I'm not 100% clear on what I want to do yet, but I do want to expand in both. And when it comes to my career, like my career path, I don't want to get too high to say where it's like taking over my life and I have no other interests. Like I want to have a good balance.
You know why I'm laughing or I'm smiling? Because like, God, women just want everything.
Oh, yeah.
They want,
and I will get it.
They just want everything. Oh my God. I want this, I want that, and then I want this and that, but I don't want to sacrifice this, so I want that too. It's like,
but it can happen. It can happen.
It can happen.
I feel like honestly I'm there. I'm like in a place where I want to be. Like I'm enjoying my job. I love my job, but I also love this side business that I'm doing too. So I'm 100% happy with where I'm at right now. And I do want both to grow, and eventually I think it will.
Don't you think naturally, though, that if both keep growing, you'll eventually have to make
changes.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think at that time that maybe my side business is growing, that's when I would step away from my corporate job.
Is your mom involved in Sewn Amor at all?
She helps me. I feel like everyone's involved, to be honest. My sisters help me out a lot. I get my sisters to like package for me sometimes.
Do you
if
pay
I have
them?
With food.
So no.
No, free labor. My sister actually comes over and helps me cut fabric. Like when we have pop-ups, I have to prepare. So I'll have like over 200 masks because you never know. My sister will come over, cut fabric at night.
Sister?
And my older sister,
Okay.
she's lost some hair because of it. She's cut her hair multiple times. Yeah.
And how does your mom help?
My mom helps me. Sometimes my mom will help me like cut fabric or like organize. Sometimes she'll like lay out fabric for me if I have like orders ready. So she helps me out in that way.
How do you pick out the fabrics that you choose for your mask? What's your thought process there?
It's honestly my liking.
And what is your liking?
I don't know. I feel like I just have this. I'm very simple, to be honest. I don't like glitter. I don't like too much glitzy type of thing. So I just keep things kind of simple. And I follow just like the latest trends. Whether like, let's say for Valentine's Day, there was like a striped pattern that's cute. Go with like what's in to say. So just follow trends and really figure out what I like and what I would wear. I also do ask other people, which I shouldn't, because it gets complicated.
Yes. How does that get complicated?
Because sometimes I'll send a picture to my mom or like my sisters, and I'll be like, "Hey, which one's cuter, right or left?" 3 of them or 2 of them will say right, and then 1 of them will say left, and I'm like, "Great, that doesn't help me."
But you wouldn't go with if 2 of them said that. You would just go.
I would go with the opposite, to be honest, because that's who I am.
Whoa, that's interesting. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I always like if somebody says something, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go with what I think. So even though
I asked them.
I know.
Girls, oh my God. You're hearing this, gentlemen? You're hearing these guys?
At least I'm being honest and telling you the truth.
Oh my Lord.
So do the opposite. That's a suggestion.
My God.
It's true. It's very true. If somebody tells me like, "Oh, I like this one," I'm like, "Okay, then I'll go with this one," and do the opposite.
Does it depend who's answering, or no? Is that's just with anyone?
Honestly, I feel like it's with everything. Like even though I reach out and I'm like, "What do you think about this?" I'll still do what I want, but I just want to get their input.
Okay, so I should. If you ever ask me what I think of something,
I'm not gonna take it.
I'm just like, hey, whatever the hell you want. Okay, I know whatever I say, you're just gonna do the opposite one. So just do whatever it is you're already thinking.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you should ask Samuel. I'm like, what sounds good for dinner, Thai or Chinese? In my head, I know I want Thai, and he's like Chinese. I'm like, okay, Thai it is.
Trust me, every guy has learned that fact. Why don't you just tell me what you want? Yeah. Everyone. Has Sam ever just called you out on it like that? Just tell me what you want.
He does it all the time.
And do you just come out, okay, I actually do want this?
Usually I'll be like, I just want to hear what you want.
Why? Why?
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Explain, as a guy, please. Why? Well, why?
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like it's just hearing somebody else's thought and like taking it in and be like, okay, they want
bad.
this.
Yeah, you're wrong. All right, let's just do it my way.
Yeah, I'm that person.
Yeah, the way Chris does it with me is she'll ask the question, but it's not really a question, it's a statement. Like, oh, you know what? I think I heard that there's a Kenny Rogers over there. Did you hear that? Then Chan said, no, there is a Kenny Rogers over there, and that's what she wants. You know?
Smart. That's very smart.
Well, you do learn. You learn. You've with someone long enough. You learn. You learn how to translate what they're saying. You don't. Because there's definitely men and women, guys and girls. We really do things so differently. Yeah. So I'll never understand her 100% completely, but I do know her very well.
Yeah.
How well do you think Sam knows you?
He knows me pretty well. I wouldn't say he knows me very well. He knows me pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think so, huh?
Well, because just certain things, like sometimes I'm like, you don't know me at all.
Like what?
Like when it comes to like something that I want, it's mainly food, to be honest. But then again, that's probably me just having like a certain craving where I like want something, and if he doesn't give me the right answer, I'm like, you don't know what I want.
So if you want to make your life easier, just tell the guy exactly what it is that you want. Okay, it's not as if we don't want to make you happy. We do. Just tell us, please. You know. Do you ever do the thing where you're mad? You're obviously mad. Something is wrong. Sam will ask you, "Hey, what's wrong? What's it?" And you'll just say, "Nothing."
Oh, all the time.
Why? Why? Please
Because I want him to know what's wrong.
Yeah, that's why we're asking.
And I want him to like admit it and be like, this was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. In his mind.
We're trying to understand why.
And his thing is, he'll always come back to me and be like, you said nothing was wrong.
That's the word, like, I'm telling you, as a guy, you know, oftentimes our brains really do work differently, you know. We'll do things or things will happen that to us, like, we don't even notice it. It really doesn't affect us at all.
Yeah.
But it affects a woman very differently. So that's why we don't know. That's why we're asking what's wrong, why, what happened.
Yeah.
All we just know is we feel that cold shoulder. You know, we know something. Oh shit!
Silent treatment.
There's definitely something that went wrong. And then when we ask, no, nothing. It's like, so again, like me telling you that we really are just trying to understand you. Doesn't that just make you want to just know?
No, it doesn't make me want to change my mind.
Why?
I think it's because we have this, like, as women, we're like, they're going to learn. They're going to eventually learn. But I don't think that day's going to come, to be honest.
But even after I told you, you know, our brains really just do work differently.
I think it's because we want that. We want the man to be like, I'm sorry I did this. And, like, be spot on. But obviously that's not gonna happen.
So there you go. Obviously it's not gonna happen. So why not change? Why not just say what's wrong?
I don't know. I feel like that's just, there's no changing that.
There is a changing that.
I don't think so.
There is. Why not?
I feel like it's also a sense of not getting your way. Like, as a woman, you want someone to tell you something, and if he's not giving that to me, I'm just gonna like block him out.
So if he's not,
like, I don't want to talk to you. Just give me a day or something.
If he's not able to read your mind,
yeah, exactly.
How dare he? How dare he?
Wrong. Exactly. I think I don't know what it is,
so
to be honest.
This conversation right here, it's not helping at all.
No, like I said.
See, because for a guy, it would totally help. Like, okay, that makes sense. You know, it's very like, okay, I'll just do that then, and that'll improve.
No, I feel like even after this conversation, even after knowing, like, I knew that before coming into this conversation, but I'm still going to be the same way I am. Like, if I'm mad about something and he confronts me, I'll be like, nothing's wrong.
Do you think it's something you should try to improve on?
It's something that I have improved on, I have to say.
Okay.
Because before I'd be like, I need a day, don't talk to me. Like, give me a day to think about things. And now it's a little bit less, where I'll be like, just stop. Give me an hour. Like, let me think about things.
Okay, I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
then.
so I think I have improved. Let's ask him.
I can appreciate it because that's honestly, that is what I learned. When something is wrong, I know, okay, I'm just going to give it some time.
But I think
I'll pick the moment.
Yeah, but before I was a lot more stubborn, where I was like, don't talk to me for a long time. But now I'm like, okay, we have to get over this, so.
And when you're in that kind of situation, when you're mad at him, and he doesn't know, does it matter to you that he even asks at all if something's wrong?
Oh, that irritates me more.
If he asks?
Yeah.
Why would that?
Because, like I said, he's not coming at me with, like, the issue. He's coming at me with a dumb question. What's wrong? Something's wrong, obviously.
It's dumb to ask.
Yes.
I'm sure, you know, if there's guys watching this and then there's girls watching this, the girls, I'm probably driving you crazy right now with my logic. Probably. And the guys, they're probably being driven crazy like I am.
They're probably so engaged right now.
Yeah.
It's like thinking I'm spilling everything, but I'm not.
It really just boggles my mind that just the very act of asking is wrong.
I think it also has to do with timing. Like, well, for me at least, like, give me some time to think about things and then I'll cool down.
Okay, so you know.
But even then, I wouldn't, like, admit to what was wrong. I want him to be like, this is what I did, you know?
So you're telling me you're fuming, you're giving a cold shoulder to silent treatment. You'd rather Sam just leave you alone for a few hours. You're not gonna get mad. How come you didn't ask me if I'm okay?
No, that's not me. I honestly need space, or else I'll just talk and mush will come out.
Okay, would you say,
or mean things would come out.
Would you say that Sam has learned that lesson then?
Yeah, because I think I've had to tell him too. Like, just give me some time. Don't talk to me. Give me like a few hours and then we'll talk. Because he's the type of person where he wants to talk right away. He's like, what's wrong? Let's talk about this. And I'm like, I can't talk right now.
That's a guy.
That's true.
That's just like, okay, what's the problem? Yeah. Okay, let's fix the problem. Yeah. It's like just very A to B. Mm-hmm. What's wrong? Okay, that's wrong. We'll fix that and everything will be okay. There you go.
Nope. I don't agree.
You guys have been living together for over a year now, right?
Yeah.
How much have you learned?
A whole lot.
About yourself?
A lot.
What did you learn about yourself?
That I am impatient. I'm very stubborn. Just kidding.
You didn't know that before?
No, because I've never had to deal with somebody. Like, of course I've like lived with my family and stuff, so it's different. But living with somebody else, it's a lot different. What's
something that you've had to compromise about yourself?
Compromise about myself?
Because, before you live with someone, you can pretty much just stick to your principles.
Yeah.
You don't have to compromise on them at all. Mm-hmm. But when you live with someone, it's very different.
Very true.
Or you haven't compromised at all?
No, I mean, I feel like I still live my life and like do my thing. Of course, right now it's a little bit different because it's quarantine. It's not like I can go anywhere. But I feel like I'm a little bit more of a homebody to say now. I don't know if that's because of quarantine or because I like respect him where I want to stay with him all the time or be more like around him,
Is there something that you're now okay with that you never thought you would be okay with?
No. I don't think so. I mean, coming into this, not that I didn't know what to expect, but it was new to me, so I was kind of open-minded. There's not really anything to say.
Whose idea was it to move in together anyway?
I think it was originally his, but I was like super open-minded to it and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
So you were excited about that?
I was super excited, yeah.
What made you so excited about it?
I think it's because it's an experience that I never had. Like, I've never moved out.
Why is that?
So I'm very close to my family. Like, super, super close to my family, and I didn't have a reason. Like, being at my house, it wasn't like I had a curfew or like I had all these responsibilities or anything like that.
But you never had that just, like streak privacy of independence and, just you want to venture out and just, experience it?
No, to be honest, because like I said, I didn't have like anything holding me back. I didn't have my parents that were like on my back and were like, you need to be home by this time or like, you need to do this, do this.
So you were in a very good situation.
Yeah.
And you didn't see any reason to leave it.
No.
But yet the idea of moving in with Sam still excited you.
Yeah.
Because
it's like a different step in our lives together.
Oh. So it was a sign of commitment to you.
Yeah.
And that made you happy.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, you sound so happy about it.
No, I think it's just a new chapter. It's like something that we were kind of ready for. It's like something where we needed our own privacy. We needed to like start focusing on each other. Where before it was more of like I was doing my own thing, he was doing his own thing, and then we would hang out, do stuff together, but it's not the same, In what way do you feel you've grown since moving in together then? I know you found out you were stubborn and impatient. How I've grown, I want to say a little bit more independent to say. Of course, like living at home, I've always been independent, but just having
Let's dissect that sentence. Living at home, I've always been independent.
Well, I've never been like, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. I would always do things for myself. It wasn't like I was waiting on somebody to do things for me,
Okay, so within the confines of living with your family, you weren't as like waiting for mom to cook dinner.
Yeah, never. I mean, I lived with my dad, so it was a little bit different.
Okay, you're never waiting for dad to cook dinner.
No.
But I heard your dad loves eating McDonald's every day.
Oh, yeah. Who Who told you that?
Who else? Who else?
My dad, oh my gosh. He eats McDonald's all the time.
Yeah, that blows my mind. And then he loves drinking soda.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a little kid.
He is. He loves it. It's funny because even down to my niece, if my dad's drinking soda in the house, we'll grab his soda and like throw salt in it, or we'll throw it down the drain. He'll get so pissed. But
why would you
we're
do
helping
that?
him because he doesn't need to drink soda.
I mean, if it makes him happy, obviously soda's just horrible for you, the sugar. But if it makes the guy happy, he's not overweight.
But let's talk about health. There's no reason to be drinking soda every day.
No, there's not. But he's been drinking it for how many years now?
A very long time.
Well, what do you think would make him happier? Living another 10 years drinking Coke or living 20 years drinking water?
I think it's 20 years.
Really?
Because he'd be with us, yeah.
Really?
We actually challenged him the other day. I had told him if he stops drinking soda for a month, that we'd like give him money or something. And he was like, I can do it, but we don't trust him.
So that's how concerned you are.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, growing up, we were never allowed to drink soda.
But he would drink soda.
No, he didn't.
So it started later.
Yeah, it started later. I mean, he would drink soda every so often, but it wasn't like dinner time, here's soda, you know? He would just drink it casually. But I think over the years is when he would drink it all the time.
So when you were a kid, you didn't crave soda?
My mom was like a health freak. Like, we couldn't even, down to like the cereal that we would eat, Honey Nut Cheerios was like our cereal.
What's wrong with Honey
She didn't
Nut
believe
Cheerios?
in like Frosted Flakes or like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We hardly had juices. We'd have like cranberry juice, but grape juice or apple juice was too sweet for us.
But you never craved it growing up.
No, to be honest, no. I mean, I'd have it every so often at like family parties and stuff, so it's not like I've never drank soda. We didn't have it in the house. So
That's interesting, because usually, you know, if a kid can't have it,
you want it.
Well, yeah, once you're able to buy it for yourself,
no,
yeah, you're gonna go crazy.
Even here, I mean, like the juice that I'll buy is like orange juice or cranberry juice. I don't buy like.
Well, orange juice actually has a lot of sugar too, and it's very high calorie.
Very true.
If you want to really break it down.
But I don't buy all this like extra stuff. It's pretty much we drink water.
Oh, but you do like your sweets, though.
Oh, I love my sweets. So pastries is different.
Yeah. Did they let you have sweets growing up?
Yeah. So we would have sweets.
That's interesting.
But not to like a certain amount, of course. We wouldn't like go crazy over donuts or something like that. See, we would just have a moderate
fascinating. Why would soda be banned, but you could have...
I think it's because my mom didn't want us to get in the habit of like everyday type of thing, like drinking soda or drinking juices all the time. It was just pretty much water.
And to this day, you're not... I'm not like, I don't drink soda at all. Yeah. I'm a water guy.
At all? Do you not like it, or...
No, you know, I used to love orange soda. I was in love with orange soda growing up as a kid, as a teenager. But I just started drinking water as a health thing. But one thing they never told me was that you're going to start peeing like crazy. So I started that in high school because I was very much into working out. And I just sort of never looked back from that. And I'm a water guy to begin. But I used to love orange soda.
Really?
So you never liked soda at all?
I do. Till this day, I like soda.
What's your favorite soda?
Squirt. Squirt and tequila.
Squirt is interesting, yeah. You know, Squirt it almost feel like it's a ripoff of Sprite.
But it has like a grapefruit taste to it, so it has that like tartness.
Yeah,
where
so
it's
like
not
when I saw that at the park like this past week, I was like, Squirt?
Oh, who buys that?
Could you just buy Sprite?
There was Squirt and Sprite actually.
Off-brand stuff, you know. It's like Shasta. I don't know if you remember like Shasta or PC President's Choice.
I don't know what that is.
Squirt, that's interesting.
That's usually my choice. Recently, I started liking ginger ale too. If I have like an upset stomach or something.
Does that count as soda?
Yeah.
Does it?
I mean, I think so. Thing? No, I feel like it's soda. It's sweet. It has a lot of sugar.
It does. I mean,
it's not like it's carbonated water. Carbonated water is different.
Okay, so
I feel like that's good for you.
What is, if you want to be really bad in terms of eating, what is your go-to? Like, what makes you feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be really bad tonight?
Home-baked goods. That's my thing.
Are we talking brownies? Or are we talking cookies?
Anything home-baked good. Whether it's like brownies, cookies, cinnamon rolls, anything warm and baked is my favorite.
I'm surprised you're not selling baked goods.
Sometimes I think about it because I can make some good cookies. I can make some good stuff.
Yeah, nothing like home baked chocolate chip cookies.
My sister makes the best. I actually had them last night.
Would it be fair to say that you can't resist sweets then?
No, I can because I have a pack of Oreos in the pantry and I won't touch them.
Why have them?
Because I make hot cocoa bombs with them. So Samuel's the opposite. If there's something in the pantry, he will eat it until it's gone.
But he doesn't have a sweet tooth.
So he says.
Oh,
yes, he does.
The skeletons are coming out of the closet.
So originally he told me the same thing. He's like, I'm not a sweets person. Like, I don't really like sweets. We'd have like cheesecake every so often. But if there is a bag of those like hazelnut wafers, he will eat an entire bag by himself. Sometimes he hides those wafers under the table and he'll bring them out when I'm gone. Like, he loves them.
I know you're really into ice cream too, right?
Oh, I love ice cream too.
What's your favorite flavor?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. I know it's basic, but...
You know who has really good chocolate chip cookie dough, surprisingly? I want to say really good, but it's really good if you're talking about the price and what you get. Target.
What?
Yeah, for $3. I don't know if it's a pint. I don't know what it is, but it's a good amount. And it's good. It's not going to be on the quality of like a Tillamook or something. Right? But for $3, what you get, it's phenomenal. Well, I wouldn't say phenomenal, but... It's a great buy. It's a great deal.
Okay. I'm gonna try that.
I didn't used to be into the whole cookie dough thing when I was a kid.
Cookie dough. I've always loved cookie dough.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I'd rather have the actual cooked thing. But as I've gotten older, my tastes have kind of changed.
Really?
Yeah, like now I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It tastes so good with ice cream.
I love it. If you go to Target, they actually sell, Ben & Jerry's sells just the cookie dough. Like in a freezer bag?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are so good.
I mean, if we're talking about health then, if you had to give up ice cream or baked goods...
It would be ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that easy for you, huh? That's how much you love baked goods.
I love baked goods. And I mean, I don't eat them all the time, so it's not like I'm obsessed where I like make things all the time. In the beginning of quarantine is a little different because I was bored.
Did you put on the COVID-19?
Oh, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to do everything. Like, I'm home after work. I didn't have to commute or anything. So I had the time to do all this stuff. So I started making these like really good dinners and like just anything I could think of. I was like, I want to make this. And then I had to moderate it all. I was like, I need to take a step back and stop.
You know what's funny is like, I was the exact opposite. I actually got in great shape.
Oh, that's good.
Lost. Because it prevented me from going out and having dessert, which is my weakness. I do have a sweet tooth.
What's your sweet tooth of choice, or what's your dessert of choice?
Anything ice cream, really. And boba. Boba, because me and Chris were in the Philippines when COVID hit. And in the Philippines, there's a boba shop called Macau Imperial. Hopefully they see this and they'll hook it up. But they have boba with cheesecake in it.
Ooh.
Oh man, it is so good.
That sounds good.
And so that's really what gets me is the sweets. And so when the lockdowns happened, I couldn't go out and get that anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I was still working out and everything. Yeah, so I just naturally ended up losing because what I eat, if it weren't for dessert, I wouldn't have any fat on me at all because I eat clean.
Yeah.
It's really just the desserts that get me. It's just so damn good.
I have to send you this place, actually.
Do you really?
So there's this place. I've never been, but I was looking at their website. It's a boba milk tea place.
Okay.
And they put flan in their boba tea.
I remember
that sounds amazing.
You made flan one time, right? I remember me and Chris tried, and it was really good.
That's probably one of my favorite desserts.
Yeah, did you know that Filipinos have the exact same thing in our cuisine?
You told me about that.
Yeah, we call it leche flan.
So I wonder what the difference is.
It's the exact same thing.
Just a different name.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Do you like cake?
No.
Oh, okay. So I make this other dessert called Choco Flan, and it's flan with chocolate cake at the bottom.
Huh.
So it's like a double layer, and it's so good.
Yeah, for me, it's a texture thing with the cake. I don't know what it is. It's like it's that airy, soft, but this.
So you like moist?
I don't know. Like I'm also not into like I like ice cream cake. I can deal with
Because
the
of the
cake
ice
texture
cream.
because of the ice cream. But there's just something about that cake, that airy, kind of like porous, spongy thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't do. And then you put like the frosting on it, because I also don't like
Too sweet.
I don't like frosting or creamy
Okay.
things, which is really weird since I love ice cream.
Ice cream, I know.
Right, but ice cream's a little bit. There's substance to it, right?
frozen?
When it's frozen, you know,
Yeah.
you can bite into it. Like I'm not big on whipped cream either.
Oh, wow.
Not big on whipped cream. I don't like mayonnaise. I know. Do you like mayonnaise?
I recently started to like mayonnaise. I've never been a big
disgusting.
mayonnaise person. I mean, I eat it in like pasta salads or whatever, but I would never put it on my sandwiches. Now I do. I don't know why. Like, I don't crave it. I'm not like, I need mayonnaise on my sandwich. If it's not there, I'm fine. But I have started to like it a little bit more.
You know, your soup is smelling really
I know, I think it's
good.
done.
I'm getting hungry. Let's end this. We haven't eaten. We shot your intro. We haven't had dinner. This is a good place to end it. All right, Steph, so where can people find you on social media, which you're addicted to? If you're not your personal account, it's up to you if you want to throw that out there. But
So my business account, do you want to link it below?
yeah. I'll put it right below right here, and I'll put a link in the description too.
Cool.
But
So
you know,
he'll
if
link
people
it.
are just listening to it, that's where you're gonna have to tell them.
What do you mean?
If people just listen to this and not watch it.
Oh, Instagram. So Instagram is where you guys can find me. I'm going to work on Facebook. I just haven't yet. I don't have a TikTok account quite yet.
And how would they find you on Instagram?
So what is it? Hashtag or at? What do you say?
So yeah,
At Sewn con
how do you
Amor.
know? How could you be addicted to social media and you don't know how to give your
Well-
social media handle?
I don't know why I want to say hashtag, but it's not hashtag.
Are you
At.
actually? Do you have the hashtag #SewnConAmor?
I do.
You
So,
started to use
yeah.
that, so they
Since
probably
the
can
beginning.
find you with the hashtag
True.
too.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Hashtag or the at sign. I didn't really know what it was
How
called.
do you spell it?
SEWNCONAMOR.
And no spaces or any
No spaces.
junk like that.
Yep.
And do you have a website that you want to throw out there or
I
anything?
don't. Maybe Samuel can work on that.
So they just order through Instagram.
Yeah, so everything's direct message. And I do customs. I do pretty much everything.
Wow.
Yeah. So
pretty-
it's all on there.
It's actually quite impressive considering you don't have a website now, but
Mm-hmm.
you're getting orders, and that means people really like what you have to offer.
It's honestly reposts. That's what it is. That's what brings me people. Like, one person will post that they have their masks in hand. They'll post them. One of their friends will see and start following me.
Okay, so
That's what it is.
real quick then, before we end this, do you have any tips out there for someone who just started a small business and they want to, get reposts on Instagram? They want some heat to them. Like what?
Share with your network. That's a huge thing. Like, at first I was really timid and I was like, I don't want people knowing what I do. Like, even till this day, sometimes I'm like iffy. But I mean, it's your network. If they support you, they support you. If they don't, they don't. So it's really just sharing. I mean, one person can share and lead you to a whole other network, and that person can continue. So that's really what it is.
So that means because
Having
you have your own personal profile, right? So you basically talk about SewnConAmor on your personal profile because that is your network. And do you straight up ask, "Hey guys, please come check this out," or what do you? Is it just you post and let them go to it if they want to?
yeah, it's more like that. I haven't been aggressive yet.
But it's
Maybe
work.
I should.
It's work. Though,
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, I think it's just the products that I'm posting. Like, I'll post cool shirts, or like I did some Gucci shoes and I posted that. And I have friends that are interested and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to follow your page." Or even just word of mouth, like talking to people about what I do. They're interested and they're like, "I want to see, what does it look like?" So it's really just networking and letting people know what you do. I mean, I don't have a huge following to be like, "Oh, this is my success story," but
I mean, you're getting orders.
Yeah.
You're making money off of it, and I would say that's a good
that's a
thing.
success, yeah.
Yeah. How many followers do you have on SewnConAmor right
I
now?
think I'm close to 500 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not really pushing it out there, but you're getting reposts. That's huge.
That's huge. It really is. And I appreciate all of them.
And you don't do anything to try to encourage people to repost?
No, I don't. And I want to include like a little postcard that says like, "Repost your picture, hashtag SewnConAmor," or things like that.
So it sounds like there's definitely something you're doing right then. If they're just reposting on their own.
The quality.
Is that what you think it is?
I think it's that too. I mean, I don't just like deliver half-made things. I put my time and effort into it. So I think that's it too. And I'm not going to sell something that I don't like. Like, I wear all my masks. Everyone that I know wears my masks. So it's something that's good. It's not like it's bad quality. It's not like it's halfway done or no effort. There's effort that's being put into it.
Well, there you go, folks. How do you not want to buy a Sewn con Amor mask after
I put all my love into it.
All right, cool. We'll see you guys next time.